All right. Good evening. I wanted to wait for the weekly outlook for opening price on for the weekly opening price, just to see where they would go, where what they would do if they just start, you know, continuing to start the break of structure or continue to liquidate position or continue to broadly sell the market because obviously this Friday um, is the IPO coming out, and we are so far valued at 1.7 trillion market cap. That would put SpaceX IPO and SpaceX stocks at a 90 PE ratio uh, just upon release. Obviously, Elon had kind of planned it out. He he needs money for he needs capital, liquid capital for all of the project that he has, like the space data centers, more rockets, the Mars exploration, and so he kept all these businesses private for a long time, and now that we're at all-time highs, capital is very short, and uh, liquidity is very dry across the board. We're in a very depth-driven market or economy, rather, on top of geopolitical problems that's happening right now with war and Iran and whatnot. So uh, the smart choice is to release those companies and basically be added to a Mag 9 ETF now, really. Like that's what it's gonna sums down to is the Mag 9. They're gonna wanna share money, share the pot, and just do the exact same thing Nvidia, AMD, Intel, Meta, like all these chips companies are doing. They're just rotating capitals around. They look like they're making money, they look like they're growing, but really they're just rotating cash. So that being said, so far, I mean, we did have a beautiful upside ramp from the opening, the weekly open. Today we did hit 200T. So to me, I mean, the fact that it flattened and then started carving down, that means that the price action is likely going to consolidate for a little bit. I would say we either do that or we form a lower low and break the structure and possibly break these low here. If we do break that low at 29,000, we're likely going to form a lower low and go through. Uh, I'm betting on a higher high because that to me is just it. Like we're under gamma, right? So that's why I'm playing these heavy position because we're under gamma. It's sell into selling and buy into buying. They sell into sold. Selling into selling at the highs and then buying into buying at the lows. That's just gamma sentiment, right? So ultimately, why would you not play heavy at that point when you know there's going to be a purchase at the lows? To me, this is support. I decided to stack a bunch of orders at support, and I'm all in. I'm ready to go. Now, if we break above, because we retested 200T, if we break above, we're likely going to continue into a higher high. As far as I'm concerned, this is small resistance, but all the liquidity is at gamma and it's stacking. So why would they not go back inside that range here after, forming a higher low somewhere over here? You higher low and then you continue ramping it up. And then on release of Friday, the IPO just basically brings in all these retails, and so a lot of that money is going to come from different sector. A lot of that money is going to definitely be taken from multiple sector, and so far, like that's been consolidating, but they keep buying it at a higher low. So the breakout is coming. Like I can see this breaking out. It's nice pattern. Why would it form a lower low? It's already been swept. It's already been swept. What's left is resistance above, and I think that's where it's on its way. Especially after just retesting POC on Friday, and that's all it was. It was just a basic liquidity grab into a higher low. So really, I mean, the tech is 56. If that the energy is 56, if that breaks, then we might we might look a little different. But the money is coming out in different sectors, right? It has to come out somewhere. So same with finance, right? I mean, there's a higher low right here, and the lows were swept. The equal lows were swept. So what's left is all this liquidity is going to be sent higher. There's liquidity trapped here, and there's liquidity trapped here in finance. So that's another one that could possibly rally. This one, that it could form a right shoulder somewhere over here in that area, but so far, I mean, this area right here is where we're headed for the rest of the month. And then the neckline is over here at 171. So if after it forms that lower high, if it refuses to form a higher high, it's going to be a lower high, and the lower high is going to lead us right down here. That's where neckline is, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go retest at least 50% of that range, which is 157. So previous month low. If all breaks loose, that's where we're going. That being said, defensive is on a higher low, and it looks pretty stable too. I mean, that was a great support. It's been retested many times, and then it launched off of POC, retest into POC, liquidate all the early longs and FOMO, and then now it rallied off of a whole bunch of orders, so of orders swept, and it's nearly at support, nearly, but there's still room. Like it hasn't hit TP yet. It hasn't hit all the liquidity yet, so that's one thing. As far as all these stocks, they all hit POC. They all formed a lower low in April, and I mean it's been ramping, and all that happened in last month was just liquidity grab. It is like the point of controls brought orders. I think the hype is going to be there. People won't care about the PE ratio. People won't care about the price of the IPOs. They're not going to give a damn. They're going to buy. They're going to buy because we're at all-time highs. And because all these stocks went under for a little bit, and like you can see there's downtrends in a lot of stuff that was bullish for an entire month. It's all just take profit. They're rotating capital. They're rotating capital to throw into that IPO. That to me, that's what it looks like. And the fact that the metals also went down. The metals went down. Oil is stuck at $90. Now, if we go to higher 95 to $100 in oil, we're going to be in big trouble. So that's a lot of pressure. But The Strait of Hormuz is open. It's not back to normal, but it is open. It's producing deliveries, so that's probably going to stay there. And then the rest, I mean, gold sold off, silver sold off, copper sold off, aluminum sold off, platinum sold off. Everything just sold off, rotating capital into waiting for that IPO. I mean, even VIX, right? VIX had a spike, and the spike just dropped off. Now IPO release, and if it turns really bad, if it looks really bad, I mean, the economy is broken as it is. Like the we look exactly just like the 2008 financial crisis bubble. Like it looks exactly the same, but it's not the same because of those companies, those Mag 8, soon to be 9, rotating capitals around. Until something breaks, we're not we're not gonna break. Like we probably have until 2029 before something really major, like before we're led into a 10 years of recession, just like what happened in I think it's 1979, and we're approaching the 100-year anniversary of that, which is likely to lead to a 10 years of complete fuckery. It'll be really bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm still looking at VIX at 29, 28, 29. If that hits, I know that this is the peak of that next spike, and that's when the market will hit the bottom. So as far as right now, all I have to do is just patiently wait for, this bottom to this current bottom to catch up with the 200T. Then once it's caught up, that's where we're going to see either more buying into buying or selling into selling. But so far, I mean, that's a nice channel. It's likely to bounce and we're going to retest this position here, this resistance here. If that turns into support, it's going straight for previous day high and it's going straight for its upper weekly. Now, I'm assuming upper weekly is going to retrace a little bit down. That's why my take profit is over here. But ultimately, I think we're going to go and fetch the highs. I think we're going to go in for a retest of 200T because all this liquidity here is bullish. And I think this is our take profit. This is our first level take profit. That was the first level of today, and I think this is the next level. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to gamma and then short it, because that would be premium. So as far as right now, I think we're just going to anchor up until we reach gamma again, or this 30,000 area. Because really, if this is all capital rotation, then why would they not buy it back up? Like, just, what's the reason as to them not wanting to buy it back up? Beside that, I'm not looking at anything else. Honestly, after looking at this right here, that could actually, yeah, oil could actually bounce up. If oil breaks above 92.20, it'll likely head to 96, and if not 90, 9900-ish, probably going back in resistance. If it breaks this resistance here, that's first point of resistance, second point of resistance. It should, in theory, if it doesn't break above point of control and it looks like it's breaking that previous day low, it's probably going to go and retest this area right here, 89, roughly 89, and then bounce from there, because that's value low. But there's also equal lows, so there's liquidity trapped over here. There's limit order stacking over here. You can see it. And there's limit orders on this bottom side too, 87. So there could be a wick down here to bounce off. And I mean, if all goes well, obviously oil's gonna fall, and then money is gonna rotate back into that IPO. So something to keep track of. I'm buying the IPO. I don't care. I have a risk management profile and I will buy a bunch of that IPO because I'm not going to regret not being in if the stock goes rocket 30%. And if it drops 30%, well then, so be it. The plan was to enter as soon as it's released. I will follow the plan, no matter what the cost of is gonna happen. To me, is more important to get in because it is the biggest IPO that I've ever seen, and I'm not gonna be the only one with the same idea of going in no matter what. So if I take a loss, I'm protected. That's why I'm playing so heavy, so that if I take a loss, I will cover that loss with the futures. And yeah, I mean, I'm basically just it's a waiting game at this point. We're waiting for Friday. But yeah, so far I will aim for upper weekly. This week's been very good. Not the only loss I'm still holding is the gold, which is going back up slowly but steadily. But so far, I mean, both of my trades, all three trades from last week and this one from this week, plus yesterday, which I forgot to film, is also was also profitable. I mean, yesterday was $72,000, like right off the rip of open. I again like this is the best opportunity, the best market movement, the best buying opportunity is right now. We're under gamma at all time high. Why would you not go in? Why would you not push in? There's so much buying pressure until we start breaking these giant, you know, structure level, these levels. Once we start breaking these, yeah, sure, start panicking. But we didn't. We did not break the lows, the previous swing low. We didn't. So why would we now? Until we're under 4 hour POC, I'm not even worried whatsoever. Until yeah, 29,200, I'm not worried whatsoever. I'm going all in. And it's panning out clearly. So that's my strategy. Go berserk under gamma, and when you're above gamma, just slowly increment. Slowly, like, reduce position size. We're buying into buying right now and selling into selling. So if all you need to know is resistance, your level. You know where your levels are, you know where resistance is, dude, just short the damn thing. You know where support is, just long the damn thing. It's that simple. You had a spike of volume here. When you go on the daily, you have a nice spike here. What happens on a spike? Reversal. I've mentioned that so many times. So that's the plan, that's the goal. We're sticking to the goal, we're sticking to the plan, and we're playing the market as it is intended. And so far, it is paying a lot. So I hope you guys do the right thing, make the right decision on Friday when it's released. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.